Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to August. So we get the Hierophant, which is a card of self-mastery. It represents our ability to rise above, to transcend the bullshit. Sometimes we need that. You have been given this amazing gift of having Uranus coming across your suns, your moons, your ascendants. For me, I've got like 4 things in Scorpio, so it's coming across all of that stuff. Uranus is the planet of liberation, and I feel in so many ways Scorpios are having this option if they take it, right? They're going to be giving these options to completely shed everything and to really start living life more fearlessly. You're a fearless sign anyway. You know, Uranus is exalted in Scorpio, right? Because it's the natural ruler of Aquarius. And Aquarius and Scorpio have that kind of changeability. And Uranus coming in, it's like kind of giving you exactly what you love, exactly what you crave, right? That true reinvention. But it's taking you to higher levels of your spirituality. It's taking you to higher levels of self-mastery and manifestation. You especially for manifestation. It's kind of like a wizard of some kind, right? An energetic wizard. He's even got his hands up with his like wand thingy. I know there's a symbol there with that, but you know, like the way a wizard waves his wand around and gets things to move and change. See? You are being plagued with something, whether it's a past love, a past failure, a death of someone that was close to you. Something is certainly attached. And this is not this is not even the unwelcome of an energy with Scorpio, because you do walk that razor sharp line of intensity. That razor sharp line of Zen versus destruction in some kind of way. Scorpios thrive here. It can be painful, yeah, but it's also the motivator that gets you to where you really need to be. It is because of this, the presence of this, that you are able to become this, to become the master. And you embrace, yeah, suffering sucks. Like, yeah, okay, I'm not saying that you guys enjoy that kind of pain, but you use it. It's not just like you wallow. A mature Scorpio, okay? An immature Scorpio is going to have their life completely debilitated by that. But a mature Scorpio says, okay, I'm feeling a certain way. I don't like the way it feels, and I need to use it, because if I don't use it, then it's all just going to be a waste. An energy like that can go to waste, as weird as that may sound. If you waste this and you don't learn anything from it, then you're just bound to go through it again. There's a determination with the Scorpio archetype that is very much like a Capricorn, right? It's just a driver. It just goes forward. It is associated with power. Scorpio is incredibly powerful. So to tap into that power, to drive forward, is going to take you to where you really ultimately want to be. There's no need to lie to yourself. You may be walking the line between this and, you know, wallowing in this and using this. You may be kind of somewhere in the middle. You may be waiting for some external circumstance to give you the go-ahead or the verification or the kind of the way the girl waves the flag for the race cars to start driving forward, right? Maybe you're waiting for something, but you don't really have to wait. And here you are, Scorpio, beautiful Queen of Cups, looking in this direction here. You can move forward into the unknown. You can move forward in spite of having all the truth. You don't need to know. And look, Scorpio, you're one of the people that can see straight into people. I mean, no one can protect themselves from you. You just cut right through people, through to the truth. So if you're waiting for some external truth to come through to confirm or to give you permission, that's just your own doing. And then you're clinging more to the immature quality of the Five of Cups. You're clinging more to the self-pity rather than the self-transformation, which clearly you're being called up to do. Queen of Cups is also a driver. She's a cardinal energy. She's connected with the sign of Cancer, fellow water sign. Again, Cancer, Capricorn axis, right? These are the leaders. Cancer, Capricorn, Scorpio. These are the leaders of the world. The ones that have this internal desire, no matter where it comes, I don't know where it comes from. You just keep going. You just keep pushing. You are entering into uncharted territory for sure. Into a place you've never been. In a way, I feel a kind of excitement about this. Again, Scorpio loves this kind of stuff. It's very internalized. It's very much regarding the internal depths of your psyche. It has a lot to do with the spirituality elements of life, connecting with other people via the soul and via energy and the unseen realms rather than the physical. There is a metaphysical quality about everything that's coming out here. Using the pain as a channel or a vehicle to propel yourself into this new sense of being. This is independent from relationships. Totally independent. This is just you so far. Queen of Cups, she's incredibly loving. And that's one thing about Scorpio, is definitely no one loves like you. You know how to love. You know how to care. And in some ways, sometimes it's like, oh man, I wish I could stop caring. You are notorious, right? It's part of the archetype or the stereotype, the way that Scorpio has a really hard time letting things go. But eventually they do. Eventually they do. Eventually they come to grips with what's needed. And I think that's what's happening here. She's an emotionally immature person. She represents our emotional stability. In spite of sometimes seeming like you're on quicksand, you can somehow find that grounding. And this is a card of Taurus, so we definitely have a very solid groundedness happening here, smack dab in the middle of the reading. Sorry for the music. There's a party boat outside. They've been partying all day. Why are you looking away from the Hierophant? Why are you denying yourself the wonderful things that come with this, right? This is the type, let me tell you what this person is, okay? What this energy is. This is someone that can manifest things quickly because they know how to adjust their frequencies. They understand the power of the natural law, right? The law of vibration, the law of correspondence, the law of rhythm. They understand what they are truly capable of in their mind. Scorpio, why is your back turned? Why are the energies going this way? This is where true power is found. This is the person that knows how to have exactly everything they want because they know how to create it. This person lives in the mind first. They are not reactive to things in the physical world. If something happens in the physical world that they don't like, they change internally first, and then they let the chips fall where they may. It is this pain and sadness, it is this stress, this anxiety that can be channeled to achieve this higher calling. Even this, see, it's like you're waiting for outside confirmation that you're capable of doing this, but you don't need that. This is what you already are. Everyone is that. Very few achieve it. Seems to me like you're being called to achieve that. I often see this as a covenant that we make with our own soul. Like our soul chose this earth, chose our parents, chose our timing, chose our astrology forces, right? Astrological forces. And this is a covenant that you made with yourself, that you would learn the lessons that third dimension is meant for, it's built for, right? Which is to understand self-awareness, to understand our consciousness, and to come in closer contact with what it means to be a loving, compassionate being. And to instill change in the world. Internally, yes, that's where it must begin. But this energy continues to radiate. I'm almost getting like an exploding quality, and I don't even know why. Like this is so bright that it's just kind of like pushing everything else away from it. So it's just kind of thing with the reading. To be that light that is so bright, to be that love that is so intense, because you are capable of handling that intensity. You can handle intense sadness and sorrow and grief, and you can also handle intense love. And it is that intense love that does affect and instill change in the world. Who better to handle that than you? Please do not deny yourself the things that you already know. If you are not happy with your world, look within. If you're not happy with your relationship, look within. The past is irrelevant. It's an illusion. The feelings and the emotions that you feel, they're not really a part of your purpose. They are tools, right? Tools to figure things out. Okay, getting a couple here. The King of Swords and the High Priestess. This is a card of Aquarius. Aquarius has been making an appearance, and there is a lot of activity placed in that sign, the eclipses, the moons, the Mars retrograde, all that stuff, right? So it is a squaring sign. It's your 4th house, so it is an important placement for you. I always say that Scorpio and Aquarius, there's something about that mix. There's something about that match. It doesn't have to be an Aquarius, okay? It could also be Libra, Gemini, or anyone that kind of just has an Aquarian vibe, you know? You know what an Aquarius is, that kind of a detached, adventurous kind of thing, whatever all the stereotypes are. You can Google it. What's weird though, I often look to coloring with the cards. She's kind of like a blue and yellow, and he's like a blue and white. But you share the blue, and that blue is connecting a lot of the energy here. The blue is the unseen. It's the ultimate feminine. It's the intuition, the truth. It is the energetic connection. The two of you are energetically connected. And you kind of represent the intense emotions that an Aquarius can feel. If they acknowledge them, they tend to think about their emotions more than feel them. And vice versa, you tend to feel your emotions more than think about them. But Aquarius often represents the higher mind of Scorpio, right? You have a very severe mind-heart separation. You're either thinking or you're either feeling. It's usually, but you have like the capability of the high mind of Aquarius, you know? I talk about that all the time. That shouldn't be new for any of you who've been with me for any period of time. The Scorpio-Aquarius connection. Very, very drawn to each other, but it's a difficult connection for sure. It's one that requires and demands a great deal of work. But through each other, you can liberate one another as well. You can free each other from sort of the karmic things that bind you. Scorpio and Aquarius are both karmic signs. Scorpio tends to feel very oppressed, feeling the suffering of everyone, whereas the King of Swords or an Aquarius tends to be like very elevated, tends to be very too high or too far evolved for society to really like fit in kind of thing. That's why they're kind of weird. Again, it could be a Pisces, it could be a Capricorn, it could be a Leo. It doesn't matter what the person you're dealing with, their sign is. It's just kind of the energy that's at play. So I talk about it in terms of the archetypes. Okay, that's just FYI. Another moon energy coming out. We're getting the moon. I had a lot of moons in the Libra reading as well, which just tells me that intuition is at play. The energy that you're dealing with is the undercurrent. It's not obvious. It's not spoken. It's not in front of your face. It's all about your intuitive pings, you know, the hits that you get, the downloads that you receive. Okay? So we have a lot to clarify in this column here, kind of what's going on. Certainly we'll clarify that in the comprehensive as well. If you're waiting for something, it's coming. Some kind of offer. I don't understand what's going on here, so we'll clarify. It's just like you're here and they're there and that's it, and clearly something happened, but there's no like really solid indication of what's going on here, other than in some way maybe it's sort of the cause as to why you're not tapping into this, because maybe you're just really stressed or frustrated about it. This can come in as an apology. This can come as some kind of an offering as well. If you're in a business partnership, if you're in a professional or platonic thing that you're dealing with, this is kind of like a treaty, like a do-over or a truce. Usually when this comes, it's usually something that comes to you rather than you going to the other person. Page of Pentacles, I often see, this is how I see it happening a lot of times. The other person comes to you and doesn't necessarily address this, but just kind of has a forward look at something. Like, let's stop thinking about this and let's look at something else. It almost kind of has a distractive quality. Look at how yellow this card is. Like, doesn't it seem really out of place? It's like someone's trying to get you to look at a shiny object. Like, look over here, let's not be distracted by all of this. That may or may not be welcome on your part. It's their way of making amends. It's their way of trying to have progress in life still and not get so caught up in kind of the crappy part, the crappy thing that happened. Okay. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I realized my door was a crack, a little bit open. Closing it didn't help that much, I guess. Typical thing for a Scorpio. Does it bother you guys when people call you a Scorp? That bugs me when I'm watching Scorpio readings or astrology and they're like trying to be all like happy and they call you a Scorp. Like, you don't know me. Don't try to be all fake nice with me. Is that just me being a bitch? I think maybe that's just me being a bitch. Okay. See, the Eight of Wands, this came out in Libra too. The Eight of Wands is about the manifestation power. It's about getting the things that you're wanting. This is you, Scorpio. You can shape this situation. You can shape this outcome kind of in any real way you want. Now, I'm not saying to manipulate anybody. I'm not saying, you know, to maybe this isn't even a healthy thing for you, right? Maybe you don't want to attract this. But at the end of the day, the Eight of Wands is about you being able to adjust your energetic frequency to attract the things that you want. Knowing how to do that, the power of that mindset. Clearly you're on guard about something and clearly there's a presence of fear or defensiveness. And whenever that happens, there's a closed heart chakra, right? There's closed energy. It's blocked. And when there's blocked energy, it can make it really difficult for things to come easily to you. It can make it difficult for the job offers to come in, for the romantic partners to come in, for money to come in, even though I'm seeing this here. Okay? Justice has been making an appearance. Again, we went through a karmic situation during Cancer season with the Sun opposing Pluto, Sun opposing Saturn. That was some pretty deep stuff. You handle it because you can handle the depth, you can handle the intensity, right? As my Scorpio moon personality, all my Scorpio stuff, it was really hard for me even. I had a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of issues that resurfaced at the past couple weeks. And it did kind of feel like the scales of justice were getting rectified. You know, I was able to say the things that I needed to say. And that was it. You know, it's kind of like, like I said before, you put it out there and let the chips fall where they may. Now, if you were on the receiving end of karma, well, that might not have been the best time. If you had something coming to you, well, I'm sure it came to you. If not, it's probably coming. It's probably on its way. This is a short-lived situation because I'm seeing the ending happening here. It's right in front of me. So I know that this isn't going to last forever. All right? So you are going to make your way through this quite swiftly, which will be great. And as soon as this kind of page of coins comes in, whatever kind of an offer this is, an email, text message, whatever, that's great. And you can just move on from it, you know. But don't forget, it's a tool. If you're mature, you know how to use this and channel it properly. If you're immature, you can get stuck here really easily. And we all know immature Scorpios who hang on to their own demons, right? And they just kind of self-inflict their own pain. But you don't have to do that, okay? So lots to talk about in the comprehensive, all right? So hopefully I'll see you there. If not, then I will see you next month. All right? Thanks so much. Take care.